everyone, Grandma Abuela here. As you can see, I am in my outdoor shelter. I'm leaned back against some rocks. That's right, I'm leaned back against rocks because I would totally have my back wall made out of rocks if I were actually doing this. Let's face it, it has turned cold. This morning we had our first snowfall. My little puppy Zodi, it was the first time that she had ever seen snow, and it was absolutely hilarious. When she walked up to the door and looked out, her jaw literally dropped and her eyes got wide, and she looked back at me like, what just happened? The world is coming to an end. It was absolutely hilarious. Indiana, of course, has seen snow before because he's 3 years old, and he went outside, went right into the snow. Little Zodi wasn't sure what to do. She followed him out. She went to the bottom step, and she stopped. And she stood on that bottom step, and she stretched her little nose out as far as she could go and sniffed the snow, looked back at me, sniffed the snow, looked back at me, sniffed the snow, looked it over at Indiana, and she just was not sure what was happening. Finally, she reached one little paw out into the snow and pulled it back as quick as she could, like it burned her. And then she reached the other little paw out and touched the snow and pulled it back really quick. And she did that a couple times and then finally decided that it was fine. And so then she walked out into the snow. And with every step, she was shaking her feet, trying to shake the snow off. It was absolutely hilarious. And we just got a little skiff of snow. We didn't even get that much snow. But it was great watching that first snowstorm. Now, if I were actually on alone and had that first snowstorm, I'm afraid that I would be a lot like little Zodi. I think that I would probably go to the door of my shelter and look out and think, what just happened? It's cold out there. And unlike Zodi, I don't think I would be anxious to get out in the snow. After she got used to it, she loved it, and she played in the snow quite a bit. Came in with muddy feet. I would not be out there playing. I would go out, do what I needed to do, and get right back in and turn into a lizard and just hibernate, because I do not like the cold weather. So that's how I would handle that first snowstorm. I'd build up the fire, cuddle down into my sleeping bag, and just try to weather the storm. No pun intended. But yeah, I just don't do the cold real well, so we're going to pretend that I'm actually in a homemade shelter, that I have a little bit of a fire going, and that I'm huddled down in my sleeping bag with a winter coat on, suffering with the cold. I am kind of suffering with the cold. I have my shoes and socks off and my toes are cold, so I guess I am kind of suffering. I don't know if that counts. But Grandma Abuela here. Bye.